Hey guys, my name is Julie Saillant. I am a healer. I am a starseed. I am a light worker. I am an animal communicator, and I am here to help you connect with your guides and your ancestors, help you get in alignment with your soul's purpose as to why you're here on planet Earth, and help you figure out what your gifts are, how to use them, and then how to have the life that you truly want. So welcome to the channel. Thank you for being here. This video is for the Master Life Path 11s, which is I am as well. Thank you again. I love each and every one of you for being here. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We are growing the channel, and I thank you for all your comments as well. And every comment I always respond to. So thank you so much. Today, I wanted to do something a little bit different. Today, I wanted to talk about something that came up in one of the sessions with my private clients that I thought would help all of you, because it's something that it's about power, right? And all of us talk about what we want out of life, and few of us talk about what it takes to get there. So before we dive in, I offer sessions for you personally, either for you to find your gifts and to understand why you're here, as well as if you needed help with your animal. I do animal communication as well. So anytime you'd like to work with me, is great, and you can find all that information in the description box below. Okay, so if you're new here, we're all about numerology. We don't go by your astrological signs. It's about your numerology, your number. The life path number, Master Life Path 11, is what we're talking about today. And I just like to give a very quick overview. A lot of you know that you know who and what we are, obviously, but we're the spiritual messengers. All right, so we, as a Master Life Path number, that means we have reincarnated a lot more times than some of the other numbers. We are bridge builders. We're here to connect heaven and earth. We are 11s. We are forces of nature. We process very deeply. We read between the lines. We look at what people are not saying, right? That's how we work. And basically, we are inspiring people to open doorways to new levels of consciousness. Now, beyond that, a lot of us are very misunderstood. From the time that we were small, those closest to us did not understand us, did not know what to do with us. Even if you had a wonderful upbringing and very loving parents like I did, they still did not know what to do with me, because I was the child that would feel things so deeply that if I went to a movie, I would have to leave because I felt so sick at seeing something on the big screen that was violent. And we just are affected differently, and we process differently, much more than the other numbers do. So we are the people that can walk into a room and we can see exactly what's going on with everyone. We can tap in. We're kind of like the lie detectors, and people get very upset with us sometimes because they don't want to share, or they're having a bad day, and we can actually zero in and figure out, hey, you know, can I help you? Most of us always come from a place of love, and we want to help others. But the problem is that a lot of times people are not used to us. And so we're kind of told, hey, back off, or stop doing what you're doing, or stop being so dramatic. And then we take that as, oh boy, they don't get me, I should shut down. And then that's what happens to a lot of us, is that we figure by the time we're adults, we self-sabotage. We feel like we don't fit in anywhere. Nobody gets us. Nobody ever will, right? Which is not true, by the way. And then we are just living a life of trying to people please others because we desperately want to fit in, but we don't. So if this is you, I am here to tell you, this is all good news. I used to think that we as a collective had a cursed life, but that is not the case. We have an amazing life. You just need to understand one thing, and that one thing is that you are freaking amazing. You were born to stand out, not fit in. This is what you were born to do. You were born to help others become all of who they can be. You were born to lead, not to follow. We as 11s train leaders. We are leaders. We do not follow. Okay, so I self-sabotage for years professionally. You may be doing the same. You also may be doing it personally. And if you are, I'm here to help you, and we're here to help each other, because we together can make a difference in the world. Today, I want to talk about power. And one thing that came up with one of my clients, which it was so cool. I wanted to share it with you because I thought that a lot of you might understand this. And if you've never thought about it, this is what I said to her. And this is a question I have for you. When you think about power, are you more comfortable as the person going up to the throne? Let's just say that there was a throne in front of you with a king or a queen. Okay. Are you more comfortable going up to the throne, that person that's going up to the throne to ask for something? Or are you more comfortable sitting on the throne? And think about this and be honest with yourself, because these are two different types of people in two different parts of areas of their lives with two different sets of powers. Now, one you might feel is disempowering. The person going up to the throne does not have as much power as the person on the throne, obviously, right? They feel uncomfortable. They have a lot less than the person on the throne, the king or the queen. They may feel comfortable around greatness, but they're still not great, but they want to be great. They may feel as though they haven't burned their boats yet, right? They are still trying to figure things out. They still think that it's kind of scary. They are actually okay with living on crumbs, breadcrumbs, versus getting a seat at the actual table. They are always asking for something, even though they want to help. And they feel as though they don't have a lot of power, even though they really want power. Here's the thing. Power is all about perception, right? You can have all the power in the world, but if you don't see yourself as that powerful person, you won't be. So in other words, what I'm trying to say to you is you can be that king or queen. But what if you are, but you don't see yourself that way? You see yourself as the person going up to the throne. You're always going to be thinking, I don't have any power. I'm powerless, not powerful. I'm disempowered, not empowered. And there's a complete difference in the way that these two people act and think, and people respond to them, and their world turns, right? So my question is, what if you were separated at birth and you were that king or queen? And all of a sudden, somebody said, hey, you know what, Julie? You are that person. You are the queen. And you're like, I am? And they're like, yep, you are. And you're like, okay. Now you're going to walk up to the throne and you're going to look around and you're going to be like, okay, all these people are looking at me. And all of a sudden you're going to say, sit down. You're going to sit on the throne. Now, here's my question to you. How would you act? Right? How would you see the world? How would others treat you? And what would you do with that power? Because that's a totally different position than the person that walks up to the throne and is asking for something for their family or for themselves, for whatever, right? For the town, who knows? The person that's walking up is disempowered. The person on the throne has the power to do and make change and can affect anything they want. They can make decisions, they can think of something, and everything around them changes because they deem it so. The person that's walking up to the throne has not burned their boats. They're very unsure. They're very subservient. They need something from the person on the throne. The person on the throne doesn't need anything from the person down here. They're good, right? Because they have power and they know how to act and wield that power. Now, what I want to say to you is you have power. Every single one of you as an 11 was born with power and a great deal of it. How much you access in this lifetime is up to you, because the divine and spirit will not give it to you all at once until you're ready for it. It doesn't work that way. They don't just say, here you go, right? Because as humans, in this 3D world, it's not always easy for us to understand what we have and what we don't have, what we can and can't work with, because many of your gifts are huge gifts. Many of you are speakers, you're writers, you're musicians, you say things, you do things that are powerful, that change people's lives. Many, many, many lives on a grand scale, right? That's what we're here to do. We are here to lead the leaders. We are here to train the leaders. We are here to stand at the front and help those people that are not in the same place as us. Everyone is on their own journey, and everyone is doing the best that they can. Some of us are farther ahead than others. And it doesn't mean that we're amazing and we're full of ego, because there's plenty of people that are farther along than I am. There's plenty of people that are behind me, and the same with you, right? But my question is, which are you most comfortable with? Are you comfortable on the throne? Chances are, if you're an entrepreneur, you might be. Or are you comfortable walking up to the throne? And if you're comfortable walking up to the throne, why? Because I'm going to say that you are settling for breadcrumbs when you could have the whole enchilada. You could have a seat at the table and eat with the king or queen, versus being on the floor with the dogs, asking for, please, can I have something? And you may think that this doesn't even really apply to you, because I'm saying, you know, a king and a queen, a throne, medieval times and all that stuff. But I'm here to tell you that this is completely appropriate for 2021, which we're in right now. And let's just look at it professionally, right? So many of us are doing things that we are not happy with. We are not using our full potential. We are not using our gifts at all, or very, very little. We are not being as strong and as effective as we really can be. Why? Because we have not stepped into our power. Why? Why have you not stepped into your power? What are you afraid of? Why are you more comfortable being the person that's going up to the throne than the person on the throne? Is it just because you've done it for so long? Is it because you're people pleasing and you want to please others at the expense of you being happy? Because I did that for years, right? Is it because you don't know what you do with all that power? You're like, holy crap, what would I do with all that? It's just like anything. If I gave you a Lamborghini and you don't know how to drive it, you learn really fast, right? You would. If I gave you a castle, you'd be like, holy crap, this is amazing. What do I do with all this? And I'd be like, you'll figure it out. And you would within like a day. You'd be like, okay, this is my house and I'm going to do this and do that with it. It's the same thing. The power that you have within you is vast and huge. And it's really time that somebody told you guys, every single one of you 11s, that you have a lot of freaking power and you need to start owning it and stop running away from it. Because there are so many of you out there that have never turned and faced your power. These are my notes. You're comfortable being 50% of who you are or less. Because as a young child, you were told to shut down, and you did, because nobody understood you. They didn't understand your power even back then. And then people got scared of it. Maybe your own parents were scared of it. Your sisters or brothers were scared of it. Your spouse could be scared of it and have told you all these years, shut yourself down. Stop, because I can't deal with it. This is a real thing, right? People get very uncomfortable when you step out. Why? Because you're challenging them. You're showing them that you're powerful. And they are not, or they are not operating as powerfully as they could. So you're basically standing there like this, like, like, I'm amazing. I'm amazing. Watch out, here I come. Get out of my way. And they're like, whoa, that's too much for me. Stop. And what you should be doing is going, no, move aside. Move aside. I'm not shutting down anymore so that you can feel comfortable. You may have spent your whole life running from your power instead of facing it and accepting it, because you are a powerful being. Because then you'd say, now what do I do? Okay, Julie, I accept myself. I'm powerful. Now what? And I'm here to say, own it. Start working with it. You have power. You have gifts. You can wield those gifts. Only you can do that. No one else can do that for you. And even if we have similar gifts, they're going to come out differently and work differently just because we're different beings. But my whole goal today is that you can see yourself as the powerful being that you are, and to stop pushing your power away, pushing your gifts away. You were created as a sentient being. You're here in a 3D world, in a 3D body, but you're still a sentient being with amazing powers. You can see things other people can't see. You can feel things other people can't feel. You can read between the lines. You process differently. And these are all gifts. You can affect people on a level that most people can't reach them. And it's simple for us. It's so easy. It's ridiculous. It's like toddler stuff. So what are you waiting for? What are you sitting there going, I can't do this. I'm going to shut myself down. So what? Everybody else can feel comfortable? No, no more. It's time to step out and be who you are. It's time to be that powerful person that you are. Because here's the question, right? Again, if you were sitting on the throne as a king or a queen, make your own throne, sit on it. How would you act differently? How would people treat you differently? What would you affect? How would the world look for you? What would change? Everything. I'm powerful. I can do this. Whatever I set my mind to, I can achieve. That's not ego. That's momentum from doing things for a long time, knowing that you have the ability to make changes and help others, right? It's not ego. There's a big difference between I can talk to animals and help them versus, oh, I'm so amazing and I can do this and I can do that and everybody else is below me. That's ego. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about you as a human being with all the gifts that you have, bringing them to the light to help yourself and humanity to make changes and make a real difference in the world, to not shutting down. And if somebody says to you, stop doing what you're doing or shut down or just be quiet, you're like, no, if you can't handle me, you're not my person, right? Step aside. Step aside, dude. There'll be people in your life that want to work with you, and there'll be people stronger than you, right? That have more gifts than you do, more strengths. Those are the people you want to be around. You would never tell them to stop doing what they're doing because you'd want to learn from them. That's how we need to be as well. Lead with love, not with ego, and say, with love, no, I'm not going to shut myself down. This is who I am. These are my gifts. If you want me to help you, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going because I want to change the world and I really want to make a difference. So I just want you to think about where you're most comfortable. And if you're comfortable going up to the throne, then I would like to say to you, how about taking a seat on the throne? See what that feels like. Because I think it would be awesome. The other thing I want to talk to you about today is energy and how some of you are using and not using your energy. Everything that you do takes energy, your personal energy. And what a lot of people don't talk about is that as 11s, we need to take care of our energy. If you are expending a lot of your energy, which you are during the day, if you're at work, no matter what you do, whether you work for yourself, whether you're an entrepreneur, you work in a company, it doesn't matter. You're still dealing with people, and that can be very difficult for us as 11s. It takes a lot out of us, right? You need to have downtime to recalibrate, which is why so many of us always need to be alone. And that's because we need to recalibrate and bring ourselves back up again if our tanks get low, right? Think of yourself as a battery. So if you're getting low and you're at like 30%, 20%, that's when you need to say, okay, I have to step back. I need some alone time, right? I've been this way since I was a child, and I'm betting that a lot of you are the same. And this is the reason why, okay? So we need to recalibrate. We need to get that energy back up there. It's really important, right? If you don't, you'll crash. And I'm mentioning this because I worked with, I think, 6 clients last week on one day, and that's a lot of hours for me. And the next day I was supposed to go do something with my sister and I couldn't do it. I lost a whole day because I couldn't get off the couch, because I couldn't move, because I had no energy and I was just wiped because I didn't take the time to be by myself, recalibrate, and bring my levels back up. And how do you do that? By more sleep, eating right. I'm working on that one. You know, just taking time for you, whatever that looks like, replenishing your tank, right? So I mention this because I think a lot of us go through this as 11s, but not a lot of people talk about it. If you want me to go deep on this, let me know in the comments. I'll do a whole video on it. But some tips are, take some time for you, you know, take a bath, take a walk in nature, work out, make sure you're eating correctly, make sure that you are sleeping enough. I'm kind of guilty of not doing that one because I'm a night owl and I work a lot. But again, we need to make sure that we're balanced. Balanced and harmony is huge for us as 11s, huge. If we're not in balance, if we're not in harmony, everything goes south. And I've lost a whole day of my life sometimes if I get a migraine, or, you know, your body will just shut down. So your mind can say, yeah, let's go, we're good. But then if you do too much, your body's going to say, stop, I don't care, we're stopping right here, right now, stop. So please make sure that you take care of yourself. All right, I chose just a couple cards for you. You got Andromeda, Channeled Women for the fixed stars. Telepathic communication brings peace, harmony, and love. Telepathic communications is something that almost all 11s can do easily. If you can't, it's just something you need to work on. It's a gift that almost all of us have. If you are not doing this, you are disconnected from your power and from your guides and from spirit. Totally. Don't do that. So make sure that your telepathic communication brings peace, harmony, and love. And that's all that we want is peace, harmony, and love. We love harmony. We love peace. We as 11s do not like discord. We do not. So again, as I said, I don't look at the cards, but this is perfect, right? Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And your telepathic communications, when you're connecting in with spirit and your guides, that's a big part of who you are. So when you're disconnected and you're not meditating and you're not hearing from them, that's not good for us, right? We need that. That's what fills up our tanks. That's why I meditate so much for so long, not just for my clients, but it helps me, one, get answers that I need, but also it just brings me to a happy place, right? Brings my levels up. You also got the black hole, which is from the message from the universe. Heavy thoughts on the mind, mystical void, magnetic pull into the unknown. This is your challenge. As 11s, we have heavy thoughts. We do not have frivolous thoughts very often. They're very much heavy thoughts all the time. So again, if you're having heavy thoughts, balance. How do we bring back balance? Do something fun. Take a walk, take a bath, watch something fun, but power up again, right? Inner strength, spiritual connection, the astrology planets, you got Haumea, Haumea. I hope I'm saying that right. Inner strength is spiritual connection. Again, what did I just say, right? When you take time to power up to your guides and meditate and have that conversation back and forth, it's beautiful. This is what will power you up for a long time. It will really help you. So meditate, connect with them, ask the questions, start to have a conversation, call them in. Archangel Michael, please be with me now. Ask them questions. That's how you have a conversation. Keep it super simple. What am I not seeing? I'm stuck right now. I need help. Can you please help me? Show me the way, right? You also got believe in magic, fairy tales come true. You got Pisces. This is the two fish, right? And I tell you guys all the time, I stopped pulling these, but I put these back in. It's not because of the sign, because we're not doing signs here because we do the numbers, numerology, but it's what's beneath it. And there's always a message. So if you're struggling, right, like I said, you're struggling with the black hole, which is the heavy thoughts on the mind, right? Mystical void, pulling into the unknown, right? And then what did I say? Humea brings inner strength and spiritual connection, and that brings about the belief in magic and that fairy tales do come true for you, because they do. I can tell you they do. Anything you can think of, you can achieve, you can make it happen. You can. You're powerful enough. I wouldn't say that to every single number. As a human, I would hope that all of us can, but the master numbers seem to have a greater skill set, because we have a greater vision, right? We're not talking about a onesie twosie. We're talking about all of humanity, right? And Virgo came up as well. And it's pure love and selflessness. Pure love and selflessness brings about believing in magic and fairy tales come true, which gives you an inner strength and a spiritual connection. Can't make this up. All right, guys, I hope this helped you. I love you all. Thank you so much for being on the channel, watching. I really appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this, leave comments, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you. Talk to you soon.